Welcome to Provisional Aspirations, a podcast exploring the intersection of psychology, philosophy, and clinical mental health. I'm Thomas W. Moore, religious trauma survivor and doctoral student in counselor education and supervision. Join me as I indulge my academic interest in the human spiritual experience, a curiosity that I couldn't fully explore as a member of a high-demand religious group. But now I'm learning out loud, and it feels great. Welcome to the second season of Provisional Aspirations. This year marks the third year of a podcast I launched as a platform to explore my spiritual and academic curiosity after leaving the Christian congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in late 2021. The show emerged from the response to my book, A Voice from Inside, published under a pseudonym due to my insider status at the time, which chronicled the psychic turmoil I experienced upon exiting a semi-closed fundamentalist community. I found myself in the virtual company of others who had shed religious worldviews, often grappling with existential crises, sometimes as severe as religious trauma syndrome, a subset of post-traumatic stress disorder triggered by the abrupt loss of faith and of social support due, in many cases, to shunning practices like those of my former church. I discovered that I was not alone in my quest to ask rather elementary metaphysical and philosophical questions at a much later stage in life than my peers, who had done such exploration in their teenage and college years. The above journey coincides with my formal education in psychology and psychotherapy, a Bachelor of Science in Psychology in 2019, a Master's in Clinical Mental Health Counseling in 2024, and my ongoing doctoral studies in counselor education and supervision. Provisional Aspirations is a quest in the realm of aspiration, a concept originating with the American philosopher Robert Cain, who argued that philosophy's raison d'être is to pursue universal wisdom, much like religion claimed to do in bygone eras, when information flowed slowly and technology was limited. Even if such a comprehensive worldview's existence is uncertain, says Cain, the attempt itself is inherently valuable. Cain's perspective is partly a reaction to postmodernism, a topic I've explored in earlier episodes. Postmodernism's embrace of fragmented worldviews and its rejection of a dominant epistemological system, favoring relentless introspection and deconstruction of normative cognition, offers a vital thought experiment. This is especially true for post-religionists and anyone choosing to live Socrates' examined life. Yet Cain laments that postmodernism abandons philosophy's mission, the search for objective wisdom that transcends the contradictory worldviews of a pluralistic age. Cain's quest in the realm of aspiration benefits the philosophical thinker and can be extended to the layperson in a clinical setting, providing a guiding ideal, a North Star, that fosters resilience amid adversity. On the other hand, stubbornly clinging to and defending a worldview, explicitly or implicitly, often breeds humanity's worst atrocities. Wisdom, then, lies in embracing a provisional aspiration, the passionate application of a yet incomplete worldview, held with an intensity matched only by the agility to let it go. During my clinical counseling master's program, I was struck by the repeated requests of graduate-level clinicians to not only formulate a personal worldview, but to articulate it. I always thought that having an opinion was as banal as having a belly button, but it appears that academic training in the field of clinical counseling is an exercise in knowing one's belly button better than anyone else, and defending it over that of the other's belly. In time, I learned that this exercise is largely an effort to reduce bias. When one has introspectively deliberated a worldview at length, one is more apt to awareness and sensitivity of the junctures where another's does not align, prompting the aforementioned postmodern agility. I felt similarly uneasy when pressed to specialize in a therapeutic modality, amid countless psychotherapeutic, scientific, and philosophical theories, each with its own epistemological gaps. I've come to understand that my professional path mirrors Cain's quest in the realm of aspiration, niching into a clinical specialty that leverages effective philosophical systems for change while maintaining my awareness of its incompleteness and relative usefulness. This preamble resets the podcast purpose for new listeners and sets the tone for Season 2, which centers on a specific theme. My curiosity and autodidactism have organically led me to neuropsychodynamics. Years ago, with little grasp of its influence on psychoanalysis, I bought Jaak Panksepp's Effective Neuroscience after seeing YouTube videos of him during my undergraduate studies, playing with rats in a lab, validating the kinship I felt with higher animals. Yes, I mean my dog. The book's brain diagrams intimidated me, and it sat unread for months on my kitchen table, until I finally mustered the fortitude to complete it. and cover it in episode 10 of the show. Later, I discovered Panksepp's influence on Mark Solms, the father of neuropsychoanalysis, via Solms' 2020 book, The Wellspring of Consciousness. Solms pioneered the field of neuropsychoanalysis, an amalgam of classical Freudian psychoanalysis and modern cognitive and affective neuroscience, in the late 1990s. This story is wonderfully journaled in Casey Schwartz's 2015 book, Into the Minefields. Neuropsychoanalysis has since evolved through the contributions of other psychodynamic thinkers, including George Northoff. Northoff is collaborating with researchers and therapists to develop spatiotemporal neuropsychotherapy, a model rooted in his pioneering work in spatiotemporal neuroscience. I'm excited to announce that I'll have an interview with George Northoff on this season. Likewise, John Dallaglio's 2024 book, Lacanian Neuropsychoanalysis, which weaves Hegel, Marx, Lacan, and Zizek, philosophers of what I term the negative principle, with Panksepp and Solms, will feature in an upcoming episode. John's also going to be coming on the show. Neuropsychodynamics bridges some persnickety gaps in our collective understanding of emotions, their therapeutic manipulation, the language of folk psychology, and the material of the brain. So in the next season, I'm digging in. Over the next 8 episodes, I'll explore neuropsychodynamics, a term I use to encompass traditional Solmsian neuropsychoanalysis, as well as emerging theories that bridge mind and brain epistemologies, sharing my curiosity as a budding psychodynamic thinker for the enjoyment and insight of my audience. I hope the show remains engaging for clinicians and lay listeners alike. Early followers will notice the shift from my personal metaphysical exploration to that of the clinical, as I explore the connection between philosophical worldviews, neurobiology, and the practical usefulness of unreasonably complex systems of thought to make people feel better. After all, it's all fun and fMRIs until someone's teetering on the edge. Despite my newfound reckoning with post-religious nihilism, there'll be plenty more opportunity for that in future seasons. I want to make hurt people feel good, and I plan on using neuropsychodynamics to do so. Thanks for listening.